Recently, my friend saw my Goodreads and quite literally gasped out loud when she saw how many books I've read. Since then, it feels like I've just read more and more each year, which doesn't really make sense to me because each year actually has become more and more busy as I started more jobs and I finally finished my undergrad, only to be more busy also as a researcher, full-time master's student, and a girl who will not compromise on her social butterfly tendencies, gym girl / running girl era, and a million hobbies. Since I never really think about it, I'm literally just a girl trying to stay afloat. I honestly don't really know how I do it, so here is a realistic week of what I read. The confession is that I've never been an off-campus girly or hockey romance girly. I saw TikTok for Him by Serena Bowman and Elle Kennedy, and I was influenced. Okay, I was influenced. Like, why was this book kind of eating though? Like, girl breakfast, girl lunch, girl dinner. You guys will not believe the setup that I have right now. My camera died, so now it's just me taking my camera on its daily outing. Everyone needs to applaud me for deciding to touch grass today. Okay, I think that if I don't get too hangry, I might just finish this entire book. I started it last night just to see what it was about, and then I accidentally read through 1/3 of it. I don't know what these ladies put in this book, and now I'm regretting not getting the rest of the series. It's a hockey romance, but do you know what I wonder? I wonder, like, how much do these two romance authors really know about hockey? Like, they must have to know their stuff, huh? Childhood friends to lovers, something happened between them 4 years ago, lost contact, but now they're reuniting at a camp. And normally, I'm not the biggest fan of this trope, but this book, there's like a deeper level to it, because both of them have to like kind of figure out their sexuality, like the identity crisis of it all. That to me is so much more compelling to read about. Also, when I was on my way here, there was some construction happening. The man that I saw was literally the most gorgeous man I'd ever seen in my life ever. He like looked up from underneath his baseball cap and I saw his face. I literally flinched. I remember when I was in Quebec and I would come down to the water, it was right next to like this, I don't know, like a Navy like training center or something. This actually is my Roman Empire because I sat down next to a man who looked exactly like Reich Meadows. I think about that man every single day. So if there's a harborfront or waterfront near you guys, bring your book and then look lost at the harborfront. We're literally just girls. No, literally. Also, that reminds me, this is also my Roman Empire, but I think that I fumbled my soulmate, absolute love of my life on the streets of Old Quebec, but that story's in the vault. But they don't call me Sunny back fumbler Kim for nothing. But anyway, I truly love the foundation of friendship between the two boys in this book, Jamie and Wes. They were close since they were boys at hockey camp, and you can really tell, and I feel like it made their chemistry so much more believable. Also, happy Taylor Swift Day. I ended up making it to 73% through him because it got too cold. Now I was saying like, oh, what do these two women like know about hockey? Like, they must have to know a lot about hockey, right? But then I was like, wait a second, what do these two women know about two fruity men? Like, unless they have the closest gay best friend ever and like TMI doesn't exist, how do they know so much about it? I was actually thinking about this because I was like, how does one go about co-authoring a book? Do people like split it off into sections, or do you like sit next to each other and write it together? Because I'm like, some of the stuff that's in this book, was this a collab? Anyway, I feel like I'm probably late to the discourse about this. I'm like new to the romance genre. I just feel like, oh, is everything in this written very like female gazy? Like, not the female gaze, but like the female gaze, do you know? You guys let me know your thoughts. It is a very quick read though. If you're not a Kindle girl, now's the time because of course I finished that book and got the rest of the series immediately that very night. Alright, what about like 6:30? So how am I spending this beautiful morning, you might ask? Watching Klaus and Caroline. Just as I suspected, I finished Him. I actually got the other books in the series because I think they have a spin-off book. Like, the guy in it, he gets introduced in book 2. So I just wanted to start book 2 to see if I would like the guy in it. I actually got 15% of the way through and I was like, you know what? I met the guy, Blake. He's okay. I started reading the second Magnolia Parks book, Daisy Hates. I read Magnolia Parks like a while back and I just never continued the series. I think that the author, Jessa, she is like such a talented writer. Like, I'm only 3% of the way through Daisy Hates. This is like Gossip Girl if it took place in like London. I don't care that much about Magnolia and BJ to be honest because Christian, something about the angsty, pining, self-loathing boy who secretly loves a girl but can't because his best friend is in love with her. Something about that will do it for me every single time. I don't have school right now because I'm on break, but I'm part of the EDI, Equity, Diversity, Inclusion Committee, so I have a meeting for that. Other than that, I have to edit that video. Oh, should I do that today? I never really fully leave it, but I'm back in my Caroline hyperfixation. I also need to go to the gym. Okay, actually first let me take my little magic mind shot. You guys know I'm nothing without my little routine. Since I'm off from school, I'm gonna try to be somewhat productive this week, but I don't want to be stressed out. And this is like a little mental boost productivity shot, but also it just like tastes really good. So I look forward to taking it every single morning. Cheers! It tastes like passion fruity, matcha-y, and like kombucha like all in one. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I'm not a coffee drinker. I've never drunk coffee ever in my life, ever. But now I have Magic Mind. Boost your energy focus, your productivity, but then you don't have like any of the jitters that come with like caffeine. Everything is 100% safe. Like all the ingredients are like tested and it supports like your ATP production. My favorite thing obviously is that some of the ingredients are for like stress relief. If you're students, then you know. Doctor validated, there's over 200 scientific studies, and according to this, all the ingredients are more bioabsorbable compared to pills and powders. I will have it linked in the description, and if you use sunnykimchannel, you can get 48% off your first subscription for the next 10 days or 20% off a one-time purchase. But I'll keep taking it this week and I'll report back how I feel. Since this week was my 1 week break, and no, we do not get summer vacation, so just the 1 week, I really try to take advantage of the time and really milk it for all my hobbies that I love. This time I decided to enter my oil pastel era, but this was just my first shot, so you're gonna see the character development. Also, if you haven't watched Baby Reindeer on Netflix, everyone go watch it right now. Time for the meeting. I'm gonna be reading. Bad habit, but I guess I'm not sorry enough to try to fix it, but I do in fact always read during meetings, especially readings where I don't need to be active 100% of the time. Like I can kind of be a passive listener. And I'm not gonna lie, when I have bare meetings and so much class, this is actually where I get most of my reading done. I literally stick my Kindle onto the side of my screen so it looks like I'm looking at the screen, but I honestly feel like I'm not being slick at all. I also just start adding pictures to my Pinterest boards and making new like book Pinterest boards. So this is how I picture Christian, this is how I picture Julian Hates, this is how I picture Magnolia, this is how I picture BJ, and then that's Daisy. I literally have a board for everything, and my Pinterest is always linked in the description, by the way. It's quite literally the butt crack of dawn, but I had work at 7 a.m. Yay! But when rent is due and you need to put yourself through grad school, it's time to shut the hell up and just do your work binge. Without getting too much into the details, because I work with kids, I basically just teach small children. And I honestly don't complain at all because I think that I'm very, very lucky and privileged to have the jobs that I do. So if it means that I have to wake up a bit earlier at work and then go for a full day of school, that's what I'll do. But today was actually the one day I didn't have class, so I just went back to sleep for like an hour or so, and then I took my magic mind and then went right for a run. If you guys have been here, then you've seen the origins of this. My update is that my knee is still broke up. Okay, I feel like I need to go like physio or something. I ended up getting to 36% through Daisy Hayes. I loved Christian in Magnolia Parks because it was like he's in love with his best friend's girlfriend. In this one, he is kind of like with Daisy, and they kind of have like a friends with benefits situation, which is like so much more boring to me. But the secret main character in this, who I've become obsessed with, Julian Hates. And books like this actually make me realize that I literally have to be with an older brother or a single dad. Maybe both. Their parents were murdered when Daisy was like 8 or like 9, and then Julian was like 18, and since then he's had to take care of her. And so he's like super protective of her. I don't know if Julian gets his own romance in this book series, but I'm obsessed with that man. Oh my god, I realized that I still haven't edited that video. So then logically I went to the mall instead to go meet my friend. I just got off the subway and I'm going to go meet my friend. I was reading Daisy Hates on the train, but in like the 5 minutes that it takes for me to walk to the subway station, I randomly put on this audiobook, and this book is insane. It's called The Edge of Collapse. It's like post-apocalyptic. I cannot wait to talk about it with you guys. It's actually the wildest book I've ever read. First of all, I need everyone to appreciate how full send I went with the clean girl aesthetic. But I need to explain to you guys the crazy book that I'm reading right now. My phone is charging because it died on the way back, so I can't listen to it right now. This book, I'll put it here. It's first of all post-apocalyptic, and I think an electromagnetic pulse takes out all of the electricity and all the technology in the entire world. It's the dead of winter, and our main character, Hannah, she was a prisoner. Like, she was abducted by a sick man, and she has been held captive. And the reason that she escapes is because this electromagnetic pulse takes out the generator, which was trapping her. She literally escapes because of this EMP that started the apocalypse, and now she's on the run from this psychotic man, and she's preggers with his baby. Don't even mention the fact that she had a husband, a baby of her own, before she got abducted. I think that she meets another character, but we haven't met him yet. I think he's gonna be like the main guy. A good man, hopefully. I forget how far I am into it. I had to go resuscitate my phone from the dead, and I'm 21% of the way through because I just started listening to it and I actually couldn't stop. This is also because of the fact that I randomly am like obsessed with the apocalypse. Not in like a scary survivalist way. Not that. My sisters and I, we are the biggest fans of like The Walking Dead. Every zombie media I've probably watched. I'm always thinking about the apocalypse. My chances of survival, what I would wear, what I would pack, who I would meet, what I would do to survive. I think about that stuff all the time. Safely say that I would not survive one Canadian winter in the apocalypse because I thought that it was fine to eat snow. Apparently it's the quickest way to die. Now that my phone is resuscitated, I'm gonna keep listening to this book. Guys, I have work in 10 minutes and I literally just finished making dinner and now I have less than 10 minutes to scarf this entire thing down, and then I have to go talk to children. And then I remember that I literally have the fastest eating pace known to man, so that was actually not a problem at all. Do you know those TikToks? The girlfriend trying to match the boyfriend's eating pace and they're like choking? That could not be me. My boyfriend would actually be humbled so fast if he tried to match me. So anyway, this was my second little work class of the day. 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. But let me take the time to put you onto The Edge of Collapse even more because you get the POV of Hannah, the girl, and you get the POV of her psycho killer stalker abductor, which was the scariest jump scare to ever jump scare. I was so hooked that I listened to this audiobook while I went to go gym. Also, I really try not to judge people, but this one man at the gym was literally playing his music out loud so loud. Not this man, and he literally took all the equipment, and I was like, bruh, it's my spring goal to take the stairs instead of the elevator, but you can see in my eyes my life was flashing. I was literally asking for penance because of this flight. Everyone needs to go read this book right now. 58% of the way through. And then I was reading a bit of Magnolia Parks last night. 42% of the way through. I need to finish Edge of Collab. I have 4 hours and 12 minutes left, but I'm listening to it on 2x speed. So technically I could finish it in the next 2 hours, which is a little bit perfect because it's almost 10 a.m. right now, and I have my last like school thing that I have to do at 1 p.m. today, like our course wrap up for the course that I was doing. Thank God. I'm gonna be so happy when that's over. I also handed in my timesheet for my research job. Still waiting to hear back from my supervisor. She's on vacation right now. I basically need to read over the manuscript, do my part for it. You guys don't care. And then after the course wrap up at 3, I have a therapist appointment. My single greatest discovery was that you can actually log into Libby from your laptop and listen to your audiobooks through your laptop. And that was also how I realized me, 22 years old, can still remember my library card number that I first got when I was like 8 years old. I remember that. And I don't even know my student number. Also, let me just say that reading this book 100% just reconfirmed in my mind that when, not even if, but when I have a son, I need to name him Liam. Because why are men named Liam always the best men ever? Because Liam Stewart from The Darkest Minds and Liam Coleman from this book, he's like the guy that Hannah meets and they're just like traversing the world together. He's just like my perfect man. Which I know I say that about all the men, but no, truly, he's ex-military. Which one thing that you want to be in a dystopia is either be ex-military or find ex-military. And he's just like so protective and like you know that scene from Dear John where he like makes a fire and then Savannah is like sat like stand up girl. That's how I feel. And what a fun surprise it was when I actually found out that this audiobook was not only the first Edge of Collapse book, but it was actually a combination of the first book and the 0.5 prequel book. I think it's called Chaos Rising, which is basically Liam's origin story, and it was like the craziest prequel I've ever read ever. Like imagine being in love with your brother's wife, but you guys are identical twins. And she's preggers and the apocalypse hits and I need to save her and her unborn child because the brother's Denzel Washington. I think I'm kind of getting the hang of these oil pastels, I'm not gonna lie. But to no one's surprise, I finished Edge of Collapse. This is like the craziest story I've ever read. I was gonna read the second book too, but then I read what the blurb was and it's not following like Liam and Hannah, it's following Hannah's husband, and then I think the next book is back to Liam and Hannah. And I like don't want to read about the husband because I like Liam. I don't know. Anyway, I've been propaganda'd because I have been seeing only funny story content everywhere. Should I finish Daisy Hates and then read Funny Story? I also really want to read Just for the Summer. Why do I feel like there was another book? There's like so many books coming out. I don't even know what Funny Story is about. Oh, it's like fake dating. But everyone keeps saying that this is like their favorite Emily Henry book. Oh my gosh, the third book I was thinking about was Wild Love by Elsie Silver, but of course I needed to change the EPUB cover because who is in charge? I don't know if I just fell into a coma or just like blinked and then the book apocalypse happened. Oh my gosh, but you can literally see that I'm fighting for my life in my eyes right now as I'm on this like Zoom class meeting. I think I was actually doing the assignment that we were supposed to do after this meeting, like trying to type so inconspicuously. I feel like it's gonna be suspicious if I submit it too early, so let me wait a little bit and then my hands are clean from this semester. So I just finished therapy. So even though it's cold outside, I've decided that I am gonna go outside for a walk down to the water. I'm just gonna bundle up my sweater, literal worker man's jacket, my fuzzy socks, because last time I came back home from reading because I got too cold. I don't want to have to do that this time. I'm literally just gonna bring my phone, my headphones, and my Kindle to finish Daisy Hates. It fits in my pocket. Yes, look, I hate walking around and have to carry things. Also, I want to show you guys the other pastel drawings that I made, this time in my journal. So I made this little meadow and then this croissant. Let's go to the water. I'm excited. Look at how sparkly the water is. Are you joking? 75% of the way through Daisy Hates. Also, this little girl came and said hi to me. I feel like I want to root for Daisy and Christian, but with all the couples in this book, I just feel like I don't understand why they're together. The writing is beautiful, but what kind of compatibility do they have? Like, it's not even a friends to lovers. Like, do they even know each other? All the characters in this book have like known each other since they were kids, but I feel like we don't really get to see. Yeah, I just don't understand why they have this attachment to each other. Love Julian though. I want to see his romance. If you think that I listen to audiobooks while I run, the answer is a fat no. Like with running, I actually need music pumping into my ears to drown out the disgusting noises of my breathing. Like, I don't want to hear the sounds of my little feet stamping onto the cement because I need to forget that I'm running and that I'm probably pulling the most ugliest concentration, tired, panting faces ever. Okay, so I actually finished Daisy Hates. I actually really like Daisy, I'm not gonna lie. I like her way more than Magnolia. Magnolia Parks is such an enigma to me because everyone is in love with her and they always explain that there's just something about her. Maybe it's because I haven't met anyone who has that energy. I don't understand it. I don't know if it's like, I don't know if I want to read the next book right now or if I want to read one of the 3 books I need to read. I think 2 of these are fake dating, so it makes me not want to read them. Okay, it's 4 p.m. I think it's been like 4 hours. Finally done I've finally done just the rough cut of this video. And I think that the rest of it, I guess I'm just gonna have to do tomorrow. And finally, on Saturday mornings before work, I always do my laundry, domestic work, clean my room, etc. I have work in approximately 30 minutes. I did end up starting a book. Okay, but I'm actually 80% of the way through and I'm actually gonna finish it. To no one's surprise, none of the 3 books that I mentioned. Instead, I decided to read Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. Fallen back into my monthly obsession with Trevor Noah. I have a lot of celebrity crushes. Okay, it's kind of my thing among my friends. Like literally every celebrity man, I do in fact have a crush on him. But that is distinct from the celebrity crushes that genuinely I'm like in love with them. I actually want to marry them. 1 is Dave Patel and 2 is Trevor Noah. He was not a famous celebrity comedian. I was just out and about in the world and I met him. I would 100% fall in love with this man. He is like exactly what I want. He is obviously funny, but he's so like smart, socially aware. Is Trevor Noah married? He's not married, guys. Wait a second. He's also 40 years old. You know what? It's not over till it's over. He grew up as a biracial kid in South Africa under apartheid. It's like about his childhood and what that was like. It's called Born a Crime because he was literally born a crime. He would like not be allowed to call his mom in public or call his dad in public. They would like pretend to not be a family. Ugh! I just love him so much, his little dimples. Fun fact, I actually finished this book during my little work class because when the students are like having time to like write or like whatever I tell them to do, I take that time to read. So call it what you want, work smarter, not harder. I might have just hacked this work stuff. Also tell me that you don't train upper body without telling me you don't train upper body. Mine is that I literally can't even lift the weights to set up on the squat machine. So embarrassing, okay? Someone lied to me about Funny Story being the best Emily Henry book because why did I start reading it and I immediately stopped reading it and instead I decided to watch When Harry Met Sally while making more oil pastels. Of course I'm joking a little bit. Emily Henry's writing is always like super addictive and like easy and fun to read. I just think I like didn't really, obviously I didn't like the trope and I think I didn't really love the girl character that much. The guy, I also but you know what, you get what you get and you don't get upset. It's just time to swiftly move on because it was time for me to go meet some of my friends. Okay, now it's time for me to go get hot pot. I think I've never had it before. This might be the last time that I see some of these people because they're all graduating. I'm in my first year of my master's and they're finishing up their undergrad, but we're all the same age. I also want to get them a graduation present. So I guess I ended up reading 1,690 pages, which is almost triple the amount that I read last time when school was in full swing. The point is that every single week looks different and I honestly think that during school I'm so pent up on my reading that when I don't have school it literally all comes out of the woodwork. Yep. Also happy to report that I did in fact have a lot of energy and productivity this week and I have Magic Mind to thank for that. So love my little drinky drink in the morning. Be sure to go check my link in the description.